Hey everybody, it's Smackdown review time, and there's a first time for everything, I guess. One thing I have to say though before I get started, the commentary was very, very awkward. It just seems like they didn't have anything to say. I don't know whether it was they were jet lagged or they were just bored with the matches or didn't have anything to say or just in general hung over from Monday Night Raw, and it just seems like that Michael Cole and JBL weren't on it tonight, and Josh Matthews was just sitting there between them or beside of them. But anyway, we'll get to the first match. The first match was Jack Swagger versus Tito Santana. Oh, not Tito Santana, Alberto Del Rio, the modern day version of Tito Santana. The match gets started. It was a pretty good match. Actually, to be quite honest, this is the best wrestling I've seen from anybody on the roster for a while since CM Punk and them left. But it's been a pretty good match the last two times, even though the outcomes have been different and just back and forth. But as far as wrestling, those two are really overlooked for their talents, and they put on a good show. A bunch of false finishes and crossovers and just different variations of finishers. But Swagger gets the gut wrench powerbomb after he beats the crap out of Del Rio with a kendo stick 20 times, and it was a no disqualification match, so they allowed all that. But Swagger gets the win, and it does good for his character, especially after all the trouble that he's been having. And that means that he's beat Dolph and he's beat Del Rio. So, which means he will probably lose to both of them before Extreme Rules to keep us guessing, because that's the only way that they can really build this match. I mean, they're having trouble just even building it, but it was pretty good wrestling from the two. I think it was, other than Undertaker and Ambrose, it was the best match on the show. And then we go to the second match, the Divas match, which I didn't even really pay attention to it, and I'm sorry for it, but I fast forwarded through it like I do every Divas match, or I get up and go use the bathroom, because I can't get into the Divas. I just don't understand. I mean, they just don't put on a good show for me. So I just went ahead and did what I needed to do. Time it was fast forwarding. And then number three, the third thing that happened was the Shield promo, which awkwardly looked like they all took a shower together, and Dean Ambrose was extra serial killery, talking about one-on-one with Undertaker and trying to beat him tonight. But it was just really an awkward promo, especially with all the water that was being distributed between the three of them. And they looked all suited up in their full riot gear and combat boots. They were dressed to kill, But who can do anything about it? Number 4, Fandango versus Justin Gabriel. And I mean, like they were really going to let Justin Gabriel win over the Golden Child. I mean, I just there's nothing I can say about Fandango that hasn't already been said, or hasn't already been said by somebody else or me, or just in general. You guys know how I feel about him, and it was just a squash match. I just don't understand how anybody can get behind this. And there were people actually in the crowd fandangoing, so if that tells you anything. And then we go to the fifth match, which was Sheamus and the Big Show. And the Big Show gets the win, which was pretty cool. He punched him on top of the rope, which kind of looked like it knocked him the hell out. It just really stunned him and beat him. But honestly, I just think, didn't this rivalry end? I mean, that's all they've been doing is wrestling each other for a year and a half now. it's just pitiful. I don't know where they go with this. The Big Show got the win because Mark Henry interferes and distracts Sheamus, and they're trying to start a rivalry with them, but they're carrying over the rivalry from the Big Show. All three of them have been wrestling each other for the past 2 years. I just don't understand where they're going with it. And then we get to the sixth match, which was William Regal versus Wade Barrett. Other than them two being from England, I don't understand what this 2-minute segment had to do with anything. Like William Regal was really going to win the belt. And other than him being his idol, maybe when he was younger, it just didn't make sense to have a match of this caliber on this kind of platform. I mean, it doesn't make sense. They should have had Wade Barrett fighting Daniel Bryan or somebody else, somebody good. Just William Regal's done seen his day. All he's doing is training people now. He's just around. He's just around to help the young guys. I don't know. Barrett wins with the bullhammer, as usual. And then they go to the Paul Heyman and Triple H promo again, or segment, or whatever you want to call it. That makes the 10th time I've seen it. They make sure they show you at least 3 times on Raw and at least 2 times on SmackDown. SmackDown is just a virtual replay of Raw. It's like an AM Raw, if you guys know what that is. They show it at 2 o'clock in the morning on USA Network. And it's just really, AM Raw is the best way to get the information. All it is highlights 3 hours crammed into an hour. So it's really better to watch. If you guys want to check it out, it comes on at 2 o'clock. If you miss Raw and you don't want to get it from us, just, check it out. And the 7th match, Randy Orton versus Mark Henry, ends in disqualification because Sheamus comes in and disrupts the match. Bro kicks Mark Henry, and then Randy Orton's like, well, I gotta have an RKO. Every time it ends in disqualification or anything, he's always gotta do his RKO. I'm surprised he didn't throw Sheamus out and DDT him or do the Viper thing. It's just, I don't know. Randy Orton, RKO, Mark Henry gets the win because of Sheamus' distraction. And then we get to the 8th and final match, which was The Undertaker versus Ambrose, which was a pretty good match. Ambrose showed that he can really, really go, and he had a lot of, as they call it, testicular fortitude getting in the ring with Undertaker. And for it to be a singles match, it was pretty good. It actually showed that Undertaker looked a whole lot better than he did on Raw, because he botched Old School, and just he looked better on this night. And I don't know whether it was where it was taped or edited. He just looked better to me. And Dean Ambrose looks like he can actually handle, a singles career, or maybe just being by himself. They should break that team up. They're good enough now, and they've established themselves now that they can disappear for maybe a couple of months and then come back as revamped singles competitors and become superstars, because they're all great. I mean, they actually look like they could be in the title picture, at least mid-card, intercontinental. Maybe the way they throw the U.S. title around like a dress belt, maybe they can throw it on one of them, but they actually looked good. And Taker gets the win. He makes Ambrose tap out, but that wasn't the end. Ambrose got mad. The Shield caught him while he was laying down doing the Hell's Gate, and they started beating on him and everything, and he actually started coming to and beating up on them, and got it down to 1-on-1, and he takes out Rollins and Ambrose, and Reigns spears him through the barricade, and that pretty much ended the night for the Undertaker. And they all cleared off the table, the announce table, and they power bombed him through it pretty much. And that was the end of it for the Undertaker. And this is justice for the Undertaker. I mean, what the hell? Why? They're going to say that he's injured till the next WrestleMania, and if it isn't Punk Taker 2, it's going to be The Shield versus the Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell, or whatever they can come up with. I don't know. I mean, it was good to see Undertaker on free TV, just because, you know, Brock and people don't want to fight on TV. I just don't understand why the Undertaker is 60 years old. Well, he's really 48, but he looks 60, and he's out fighting. I just don't understand why he can't be better. Why do they do this to him? Why do they keep him going? Why don't they just let him rest in peace? I mean, we've seen him twice on live TV, and we've seen him beat everybody that he's came in contact with at WrestleMania. We need to let him go. It was nice that he was on Smackdown. It was nice that he was on Raw. But we don't want to remember him this way. I'm telling you guys, it's just not good. It's not good for his character. It's not good for the business. It's not good for just WWE in general. If they don't watch out, something's going to happen, and somebody's going to catch up to them. So that's my SmackDown review. So I give it a 6 out of 10. And luckily I didn't go 5, but 6 out of 10 just because Undertaker was there. And I think that some of the matches could have been better, but they really didn't uphold what they were supposed to. So I want to thank y'all for watching. Remember, we all have a video camera, we all have internet, and we all have an opinion.